Hi everyone! So today I'm going to show you how to join your next length of yarn to your previous bit of nail binding. So when you've got to the end of one piece, you'll have your little tail end like this. If you can get it shorter than this, the better, but I tend not to be very good at getting it too short. Now this is why you want to use natural yarn. I've found that you can splice acrylic yarn if you have experience with rope splicing, and that works. But for the most of the time, I don't think any of us are really that good at splicing. So we're going to wet felt this. This works really well with singles, and if you're getting a slightly posher yarn, then it's more likely to be a single. That basically means it hasn't been plied. So you want to get your end in there. Make it nice and poofy. Pull it all apart a little bit. Put that on my finger so I don't lose my loops. And then you want to do the same to the end of your other piece of yarn. Now, my favourite way of doing this is to lick my hand, because saliva is fantastic for this kind of thing, and get them sticking together. But I'm going to do it off camera because I can't actually reach my hand. There we go. Tend to create a gap in one of them, like that. Oh, that one's not a very good gap actually. I'll try it on this side. Like a little hole. They're not cooperating. Oh. Rub them together a little bit in my fingers and then start rubbing them against my hand where I licked. It might take 2 or 3 attempts at licking to get them nice and stuck together. You can do this with hand cream, but I would suggest using very little hand cream, and to be fair, I would suggest licking your hand whenever possible. So you need to give that a good rub so they're nice and worked in together. I might do this little bit as well. There we go. Now don't tug on this because it is very likely to come undone. You can see my end there isn't quite well done, but that's not a problem. And you want to get this basically stitched into the rest of your nail binding as fast as possible, so even if it does come undone, it's still going to be held in place even. But it can be a bit annoying, and it can split while you are doing your next stitch, so let's hope it doesn't do that to me. Cheaper yarns have done that to me on several occasions, and it is very, very annoying. Ooh. Ooh. Give that another little lick and a rub. Imagine our 10th century counterparts were probably a lot better at doing this than I am. Probably our ancient Egyptian counterparts were a lot better at doing this than I am. You want to be really gentle. And sometimes I do leave this loop, my first one with the new thread, a little bit loose because I don't want to tug it too much. Then you just keep doing your stitches. I think this one is going to come undone. No, let's try and salvage it from my rubbish sort of wet felting. Do. The brilliant thing about nail binding is once you've got your stitches together, unlike say with knitting and crochet, if you cut it in half it'd unravel, nail binding likes to stay in place because it's basically a set of knots rather than just twisted stitches, which is very handy. So even if you do end up with a bit like this that decides to come loose, your nail binding isn't going to fall apart and I have several items where I've basically gone in afterwards, and if they come apart, I've put a knot in there. As long as it's on the inside, no one's going to notice. And I very much doubt, say, girls who were starting to learn nail binding from their mums were brilliant, and they probably ended up with a lot of knots in there as well. And then you could keep going like you were until you reach the end of your next piece of yarn, and then you can do the same process again. So in my next video, I will be showing you how to start your second row of the Oslo stitch. So I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.